I'm back on YouTube. It's pulse ox time. We're going to be talking about how to use the pulse ox with the weighting system. The weighting system works very well as long as you have enough energy in your nervous system to make it work. But as soon as you run out of energy, nervous system wise, you're in trouble, because then you're actually going to make yourself worse. And so we've found a clever way to use the pulse ox to determine when the nervous system is pooping out, when it's running out of energy, when it's beginning to fail. We only train success, we never train failure, because the failure of the nervous system has created what you have now structurally, and we don't want that. We want to fix it. So the pulse ox is a little machine that will allow you to determine how much oxygen is in the tissue. We used to say blood, but it's really within the tissue. Also, it allows us to watch your heart rate. This is one that is a little more sophisticated than the little finger models. Each of you will have a finger model of your own that you can monitor your weighting system on when you're wearing it. But this will suffice for showing you how it works. The top number, the number in the top box, represents how much percentage of oxygen is within the tissues. That's an important number, and it's a percentage. So if it's 94, it's 94%. If it's 96, 96%. The number below, you'll see some bars, like the bars on your phone, and it tells you how strong a contraction you're making. I wouldn't trust that number, that bar that well. But the real number that we're interested in is the heart rate, and it's really a statistical average of how fast it's going currently. So it's not actually counting it for you. It's just measuring the difference in between and giving you an average. So, but when we turn this on, and this is confession time for the doctor. Oh, 99%. Now that doesn't mean that the blood is actually making it to my brain. But it does say that there's 99% in my finger. That's nice. Also, 62%. Since I think with my little finger, there should be a lot of blood going to that finger too. So, 63 beats per minute is how fast my heart is going. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use those two numbers. It always goes faster when I'm near my wife. So when we're measuring, when we put the weights on, we see where it is before, then we put the weights on our body, and then we see where it goes to. Usually, it's going to improve the O2 saturation at first, and then the heart rate is going to go down. The reason that happens is because it's more efficient to have your head back and to get your pelvis in the proper position. It's more efficient, so you're going to have more oxygen left over. When you have more oxygen left over, eventually the engine, which is your heart, feels like, hey, I don't have to work as hard. You know, it's like a guy. Guys are lazy, and they'll do the minimum possible. Well, our heart is the same. It will dial down and do less. So we're counting on that when we put the weights on, and then we're going to wear them for a while, and we're going to watch those two numbers. When the O2 saturation goes down, it means I'm struggling to get oxygen. Now, the number one consumer of energy by your body is your brain. It's only 1% of your mass, but it's 25% of your metabolic capacity and your metabolic draw. So it's the first thing to take what it needs. So when you've got the weights on and your brain's struggling to try to make it work, it's going to start sucking more oxygen, and you're going to, all of a sudden, that oxygen percentage is going to go down. From 99, it's going to start coming down. When we see that, we're going to get a little concerned. We're not necessarily going to stop, though. When we see the heart go up, heart rate go up along with it, that is when we're going to stop. That is ding. Even though you got a timer that says 20 minutes, as soon as the O2 sat goes down and the heart rate goes up, that's ding. You're done. Okay. So, and one of the best illustrations I know relating to this is my wife has a hybrid car. So it runs on electricity, and it also has an engine that runs on gas. And so sometimes it will be running completely on electricity and you can't even hear it. And then as it's drawing from the batteries, at some point the engine kicks on because it needs to assist the batteries, the battery pack. Well, that's a lot the same here. Your oxygen output, your oxygen that you have, when it's enough, it's like your battery. And then when the engine has to increase or to kick on, then we know it's having to assist. So as soon as the heart starts to kick up, because the oxygen has gone down, it's having to increase the amount of activity, get the blood flow through those lungs, so that it can get more oxygen, so that you can do your activity, which in this case is wearing the weights. Well, it means that you are fatiguing neurologically. So as soon as that happens, we're taking it off. So just like the engine on the car, when it comes on, you're done. So we have an assistant who's we're going to put it on her finger. Go ahead and tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm Jenna.
Jenna. Okay. All right.
Am I alive?
So far, yes.
Good.
96%, and her heart rate is 104. She has stage fright. She's very pensive about this. So she's come down to 97, 95, 97. Okay. So now we're going to put the weight on. We're going to see what it does. Okay. Now, just look straight ahead into the mirror. Okay. All right. Okay, breathe real deep. Okay, we're at 97. Heart rate is right about 101. We're doing all right. 198. It's liking it. Can you see how it's coming down? 95. See the system, she's already shifting her weight around, and all we put is the head weight. We're down to 91 now. It's really liking it. Okay? So what we're going to do is she's going to wear the weights with the pulse ox, and as soon as it starts to go down, the O2 sat and the heart rate goes up, then she'll be done. And so that's how we do it. So it's very important that you wear your pulse ox. You don't want somebody else with it around their neck. You don't want it wearing it around your neck and not on your finger. Doesn't help. You got to put it on your finger, and you got to look at the numbers and know where it was, and then judge it according to where it is. The way I like to do it too is, if the O2 saturation stays the same, but the heart rate is starting to go up significantly, I look at that as being the same as the O2 sat going down and the heart rate going up. Because basically what it's saying is we're having to kick on that engine in order to try to even maintain that same level. So if the heart rate's going up, we're gonna shut it down. We're gonna take the weights off.
How much more should it go up or down before you take it off?
Well, the up or down, as long as just one is going up, particularly if the O2 sat is going up or down, if it's going down by itself and without the heart rate, if it's going 2, 3, 4 points, but the heart rate isn't coming up, that means that the engine isn't having to supplement that need. And so we'll wait and see what it does. If it all of a sudden starts to come back up, we're okay. If the heart rate starts to kick up, then we're done.
By how much?
1, 2, 3 points. Yeah.